Welcome to the Fifth Quarter Sportscast. I'm Jared Judy. I'm here with Todd Corley as usual. We're going to break down some Week 15 NFL action. So with that being said, let's jump right in and start with the cheers of the week. So we got
broadcasting live from Applebee's in Dearborn, Michigan.
That's the most random place you could have picked, but all right. So poll of the week, we got which Week 15 NFL game was most impressive and gets the cheers of the week. We had Minnesota coming back down 33 to get the win. We got Cincinnati down 17-3, coming back to win 34-23 over Tampa. We got the Jacksonville Jags winning 40-34 over Dallas when at one point they were down 17. And then we got the Las Vegas Raiders tying it up with the New England Patriots, and Jacoby Myers decided to throw a touchdown pass to the defensive lineman for the Raiders for the game-winning touchdown the opposite direction. Not really that interesting of a poll because there could be a discussion for a case for any of these games, but we had 25% across the board for any of them. But with that being said, I will let you go first. You can pick off the board, or you can have something else we didn't say.
A write-in vote after those four choices. You know what? It's not even the fact that you win. It's just an honor to be nominated. I'm going to have to go with old Sunshine himself, Trevor Lawrence, and the Jacksonville Jaguars over my Dallas Cowboys, because that game had it all. It had it all. You had the come-from-behind win. You had overtime. Jacksonville,
they were
2023 NFL champions, baby. They're going to win. I'm taking Jacksonville all the way. In fact, Jared, I'm going to cheers it right now.
Nice.
Jacksonville, baby.
I was torn because, like I said, I threw Vegas in there just for the simple reason that it was just such a disgusting, disturbing way to blow a game. Instead of just it's the final play, just fall down and go to overtime. But I would expect a Bill Belichick team to know that, so I didn't vote for them. I almost got sucked in with the Minnesota Miracle, but I can't do it just because it's Minnesota, and the freaking Colts have been just god awful, disgusting this whole season. And the fact that Matt Ryan blew a 28-3 lead not too long ago in the biggest game on the biggest stage, and then he won upped it for the record.
That's right.
I didn't feel like you thought that was good. You thought that was good. Let me do it again.
That's right.
But I ended up going with Cincinnati just for the sheer fact that Joe Burrow's got Mahomes' number, and now he took out Brady. So I thought that was pretty impressive, especially when they were down 17-3 to come back and win. Hey, look at his resume. He's taken down two really good quarterbacks this year. So I'll cheers to him. Cheers to you, Joe.
You know what? Bengals did it. You know what? I'm going to do one of these.
Oh, cheers. You're gonna go again.
That's right. Ante up, baby.
All right. Well, that being said, let's jump into some of the games. We could start with the Thursday night and just kind of touch base on that. I don't know what happened to Seattle. I don't know if they peaked too early or what, but they look like garbage against San Fran. San Fran's, their D is still rolling. Big Cock Brock still slinging it, still looking like he's not the Mr. Irrelevant. But Seattle and Geno just seem like maybe they peaked too early. Like they're starting to kind of be on a downfall right now, I feel like. They're still above the Rams and the Cardinals, which isn't saying much. But I don't feel like they're going to make that playoff push in the sense that they're going to really try to challenge San Fran. I just feel like even with no quarterback and the third-string quarterback at San Fran, they still look like a far superior team.
They died the day that they traded Russell Wilson away.
I think Denver died. I think Denver died the day they got him, but that's just me.
They're dead to me. Seattle's gone. Above average Brock Purdy. No. Hey. Big cock Brock Purdy. That's right. Big cock Brock Purdy. And the San Francisco 49ers, I liked them when they had Jimmy G out there banging porn stars before they had CMC way back in the day. Go back, roll it back, listeners. Episode 1, week 2 of the NFL. I called the Niners in the championship.
Yeah,
That
I
was
think you
before
also.
they got CMC,
I
before
think,
they got that little white stud from Stanford, before they got Big Cock Brock. Listen, they got nothing but, oh my God, it's all positives, baby.
well, if we check the tape, I believe you also had Tom Brady in there too, and I don't know about that one.
You can't say they aren't out. They're not out of it.
No, but they're not gonna really throw up a big competition against San Fran. I'll put it that way.
Let me tell you something. Right now, they got their division leader. They got their playoff ticket punched. It's coming, baby.
Yeah, but that's like saying you're the smartest kid in dumb class. Like,
Listen, Carl Lewis one time in the 1980s ran in the Special Olympics. He didn't have to practice.
well,
He was faster than all those kids. Listen, it's right. It's like when you and I are trying to outrun the bear. I don't have to be faster than the bear. I just going to be faster than you.
exactly. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just not all that impressed with Seattle anymore. I think they're starting to kind of level out to what we kind of expected they would have been at the beginning of the year, trading all their talent away.
Say what you will, Jared. Geno Smith is an NFL Pro Bowl quarterback.
I have no disputes there. I've really been impressed with Geno this year, but as far as Seattle as a whole, the teams fell, I think, a little short of what they were hoping. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see where they fare.
I'll tell you where they fare. They belong in the NFC East with the rest of the best. You know what I'm saying?
Sure. As long as it's not the NFC South, that's for sure.
God, they'd lap that.
Yeah.
They'd lap them.
Well, speaking of dumpster fires, let's move to the first game of the top 5. We mentioned this in the Cheers of the Week. Should Indy and Matt Ryan, should they be relegated down to like the AAA or what in God's name is going on with that franchise? Like, you have Jonathan Taylor, and I only know from experience because I have him in fantasy, and he's the most inconsistent player this year. I've never seen a player take such a dive in just a short time. He was a franchise winner last year, and this year I had weeks where I didn't even want to play him when he was active because I couldn't trust him. Like, I don't know. How do you fall off the face of the earth that bad? And the fact that Matt Ryan he has to, I don't even know the stats, but he has to lead the league in turnovers. I mean, it seems like that guy fumbles 3 times a game and throws 3 picks. Like, I don't get it. But, I mean, the fact that on the biggest stage just a few years ago, you faced Tom Brady and you had him on the ropes at 28-3. And then you were like, you know what? Nah, I can do better. Let's go up 33-0. And then get outscored and let the Vikings come back in less than a half and beat you by 3. Not only is that just embarrassing, but you just set the record, the worst record for the biggest comeback. Like, that's just embarrassing. I'm shocked, of course, that they're benching him. Who saw that one coming? You give up a 33-point lead, and then you're getting benched. Shocker. The Colts are such a dumpster. I feel bad. I'm sorry. I'm going to say this. Public statement. I'm sorry for all of the Indianapolis Colt fans out there. You have to be miserable this year and last year. Like, it's been a rough ride.
I don't feel too bad for them.
Well, not coming from you.
All those years of success with Peyton. Then they suck for luck, which you fell backwards into that. You know what? Good for Andrew Luck for retiring when he did. And then, whatever the hell this experiment is with Matt Ryan.
But I don't even understand. I don't understand. They have one of the highest paid offensive line in the league. And they look like the most inept offensive line in the league. I just don't get it.
Yeah, they got one good lineman. But the other thing, I was actually surprised.
Well, I didn't say they had the best. I just said they were the highest paid.
Yeah, but it's sort of skewed because of Quentin Nelson. But but then you've got the stat I was looking at. Actually, I had Jamie run this through the IBM processor earlier. I was expecting Matt Ryan to be the number 1 most sacked quarterback in the NFL, but surprisingly, he was actually number 5 this season.
Who was number one?
Justin Fields.
I guess that makes sense because he's running most of the time anyway.
Number 2 won't surprise you. Yeah, but Justin Fields also has the most rushing yards of any goddamn quarterback in the NFL.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's not surprising because that means he has no intention of throwing the ball. So every single play he's going to keep in his hands. Right, it's just a matter if he can get past the line before someone hits him.
Kid's got a young shoulder. Yeah, number 2 is Russell Wilson and most sacked.
No, shocker.
But yeah,
we'll
go Indy.
We'll put a torch to that one. There's nothing more that needs to be said about them. But we'll move to the next one here. We already kind of touched base on this too. Cincinnati, they were down 17-3 at one point and then scored 20 unanswered points to take down Brady and the Bucs. What in God's name is going on with Tampa Bay? Like, Brady and Mike Evans don't even look like not on the same page. They're not even in the same damn book. Like, I don't know what is going on with them. Fournette just can't get any yards on the ground. The tight end position is non-existent for him. I don't know what's going on with that team. Like, that team is a complete 360 from where they were at last year, some would say.
Or 180.
I'm going to go with 360. Hey, no sense in changing it now.
Were they 6-8 last year at this time? Because they would be exactly where they were if they did a 3-60. Holy shit!
I just don't understand how you go from being in the championship game and just a few plays away from going to the Super Bowl, and then you completely fall apart. Like, I mean, granted, Giselle was probably holding him back, but my God, where's Giselle at now? Because I would have expected the opposite. I would expect him to come out on fire right now.
She was definitely dead weight, and he's better off playing in the NFL than messing around with that trash.
I mean, the record-wise, it doesn't look like it. I've seen him on his back more times than not this year.
I mean, that's where I like him.
I mean, I'm not complaining, but it's just like
I like to see him on his. Wait, never mind. Where are we going?
That's for another podcast.
You took it to a very real place there, Jared.
I don't know. I don't know what to think of them anymore. I mean, the Bengals have been kind of I don't want to say inconsistent, but they've had their share of injuries this year, and I think that's what's held them back. But Tampa, my God, they've looked like a dumpster from the start. Like, every game I feel like I've seen them play that I've watched this year, they're struggling to hang in games, let alone win games. I mean, what was it? A couple weeks ago, they were behind the entire game, like 59 and some odd minutes to the Saints until the very last play.
Did they really go 13? Get the fuck out of here. Did they really go 13-4 last year?
Yeah, I believe so.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying.
My God. They may have done a 180.
That's what I'm saying. They completely fell off the cliff.
360. If they did a 360, they'd be playing in the championship where I thought they would be.
Wow, they might be doing a season. They probably did a 720.
At this point,
that's what I'm saying.
Fucking Wisconsin math you're doing.
They fell off the cliff. I've never. The only team I've seen worse year to year as far as being in the championship or Super Bowl contender or whatever is the Rams.
Christ.
The Rams won the Super Bowl. And they're, 4-10? Like, my God.
I'm more surprised that they actually did that well last season than I am at how mediocre they are this season.
Now, what does that mean? Does that mean that Bruce Arians and Gronk had that much of an impact? Because otherwise, and Sue, I guess, because otherwise their roster is mostly the same. They really haven't had much of a changeover. I don't know.
Impact. Arians, absolutely. Gronk, come on.
I don't know. I don't even know what's going on with them. But we'll wrap that up. We'll move on to the next one here. KC. We got KC. They barely hang on to get the W over the Texans, the one-win Texans. And it wasn't even like it was in regulation. They had to go to overtime to get the win. Like, I don't know. Seems like the Chiefs have been struggling a lot of games that they should be blowing teams out, and I feel like they're barely.
The Chiefs. It doesn't matter who Kansas City is playing. It doesn't matter if it's the Texans. It doesn't matter if it's the Cowboys. It doesn't matter. if it's the Vikings, the Eagles, the Bills. No, the Bills, I don't know. But it doesn't matter. They're all close games. They play up and down to their competition level. And honestly, part of it might be that maybe the Texans aren't necessarily as bad as their 1-win record, 1.5.
Well, that was I was going to say. Is it the Chiefs are starting to play down to their opponents, or that the Texans really aren't that bad? Because wasn't it just last week or 2 weeks ago that the Texans were actually ahead over top of Dallas?
Yeah.
So, I mean, is that really saying then that? Is that saying that Dallas is bad, or is that the Texans are actually pretty decent? I don't know. Now, granted, with that being said, I kind of lean towards the Texans not being that good and kind of getting lucky because, let's be honest, I can't name a lot of talent on their team. Not to say that there isn't, but I don't know a lot of it.
No, not all luck is good.
Apparently not. Not for them. But, yeah, I mean, we've talked about this on numerous episodes. How many more times is it going to take for Kansas City and Mahomes to keep barely getting by before they get caught? Like every single week, I feel like we're seeing this where they're behind 3 touchdowns, behind 2 touchdowns, come back and tie it up and then win with 1 minute left, or they have to take it to overtime in this case. Like if you're that superior of a team, you should be throttling these people. I mean, look at what the hell Philadelphia is doing. Philadelphia isn't sneaking by. They're just stomping everybody in their way.
Yeah, they were.
Well, hey, they got the Minshew Mania now, so we're not even going to miss a beat, right?
I mean, I don't think so. The only thing that's going to suffer is their wide receivers. Tight ends and running backs are going to flourish.
Yeah, that doesn't help. I'm considering, I mean, obviously I can't, but
I'm thinking of shaving down my beard, making just a Minshew mustache.
I can't imagine A.J. Brown's going to have a good day. We'll just put that out there.
Yeah, you're probably hoping.
I mean, you can't bench him, but, God, I'm not hopeful. But I don't know.
There's nothing wrong with Minshew. Nothing wrong with Gardner Minshew.
Well,
he's like a taller, sassier, more successful, more athletic, better-looking Baker Mayfield.
It's amazing how everything comes right back full circle.
That's right. He's the fucking keystone. He's the linchpin of this podcast.
It's almost like
someday we're going to have him on. I'm going to lure him in with some Cheesecake Factory waitresses, and we're going to have him on some weekend. This is happening.
It's almost like he strikes a nerve every time he comes up, and even if he doesn't come up, you find a way to strike a nerve to get him to come in.
Oh,
the conversation.
I'm getting him in here. God damn it!
Oh boy!
Don't you worry about it. Next week we'll podcast live from Cheesecake Warehouse in Menor. It'll be all right. We'll do this.
A live remote.
This is happening. That's right. I'm looking at you, faker.
Jamie, you want to get that set up for us?
That's right. Get on the horn.
Start working out the deets.
Start earning your keep here. God, we can only carry this kid so long. He's like 7 years in college, for Christ's sake. A couple more, you could be a fucking doctor. What are you doing over there with your communications major? God.
General studies.
General, Jesus Christ. You may as well be a, what do those assholes always do when they can, in the pros, what is it? Not communications. That's the other shit major. Sorry for any of you 8 listeners that are still out there. What's the other one? Oh my God. It's like the police major. What do you call that? Not
criminal
communications.
Justice?
That's it. Criminal justice. Communications or criminal justice. Oh shit! I'd major in recess if it was a fucking option.
I don't think too many people major in criminal justice. They just take general studies and communications. So that way it's a general degree.
That was always my favorite when I'd watch college football on Saturday. Their major is criminal justice. Good Christ. Listen here, Dog the Bounty Hunter. Unless you were running around there with a paintball gun tagging the... Oh, my God. The perps on an island. I'm tagging him with a paintball gun. God damn it. Holy man. Shit. Criminal justice.
Before we get too off the rails, let's touch this last one here. We got so she said. We got we got the Raiders taking down the Patriots with the last play of the game. I never thought I'd see
criminal justice. Jesus Christ! Perfect segue.
It was criminal, that's for sure. I never thought I would see a Bill Belichick team do something so stupid.
Oh shit!
You're tied at 24. Why do you not just fall down? Fall down, go to overtime. Why the hell are you trying to lateral it?
Way to church it up, Jared.
I don't get it. I don't get it. I just don't get it. But you...
Why didn't you ask Rose why she didn't share that whatever crate or door with Jack near the Titanic? I don't know, Jared.
As a random reference.
Oh, man.
I just see the play, and I don't even know who Jacoby Myers was throwing to. Was he trying to throw it back to Mac Jones? I don't know, but that didn't work out. That didn't work out well because Mac Jones just got a face full. That's for sure. I've never seen somebody get curb stomped so bad by a defensive guy out in plain view. Like there was nobody else around to like shield the viewpoint. Like it was right out there. It was mano a mano, and he got steamrolled.
Derek Vineyard might have something to say about that. I think he did a pretty good job in American History X. But I see what you're getting at for movie buffs out there.
But you just don't you don't expect to see that lack of discipline from a Bill Belichick team. And you go back to the Brady years, that shit would have never flew. There's no way. But I don't even know what the hell. Like I said, what the hell was Jacoby Myers even throwing to? Like, I don't even get it. But I have to assume he's probably going to be kind of skewed out of the game plan for a little while moving forward, because that was just stupid. That was blatantly dumb.
Well, there might be a few more high throws over the middle.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean after that one. Jesus
well, at this point, they're probably going to get flagged anyway, so it'll be worth it to them. But it's just interesting because you have the Patriots on the winning end of the tuck rule, and now they're on the opposite end of the face plant. Like, oh man!
In the good old days, you just sacrifice a kicker into the volcano and everything would be fine. But I don't know. Nowadays, everybody's so woke. I don't know what you can do. I don't know. Who knows? I don't know. I mean, don't get me wrong. I loved seeing the quarterback get face planted. Like it was fun. Like, oh, you're going to try to tackle this massive defensive behemoth. Like, nope, get out of my way. Like that was fun. But it's like, my God, why did you even throw it? That was just dumb. But with that being said, that'll wrap up that. We'll move on to some of the breaking news and kind of run through these real quick, and then we'll get to our studs and duds and wrap it up. Tell me more about those studs, Jared. Can we skip the foreplay and just get right to the studs?
You know what I think you need? You need another cheers of the week. That's what you need.
You know what? You're right. I do. What are we going to talk about?
Well, let's talk about the lack of production. The lack of production and a dud from JT.
I'm feeling it. You know what? Cheers.
So we got some news after some huge production, sarcasm intended, from Jonathan Taylor. He had one catch for 13 yards and then had an ankle sprain, and let's be honest, he's not doing a whole lot this year anyway. That offense is garbage, as we already mentioned earlier. But he's on IR. He's done for the year. He's probably happy. I would be. But, yeah, he's done. We got, as we mentioned earlier also, with Minshew Mania taking over for Jalen Hurts. He's got a shoulder sprain, so I don't know what to expect on that. I mean, obviously, you still, fantasy-wise, you still got to play your guys. Play the guys that got you there, but man, I don't know what kind of impact that's going to have as far as having Minshew in there, because you're not going to get the rushing yards. You just you're trying to see what you would look like with a man.
I'm trying to see what it would look like with a Minshew Mania mustache.
Hey, just use the one blade. You'll be all right. I'm sure you'll get it taken care of. I have confidence.
Would I look as sharp and stunning as my left eyebrow, Jared?
If I said yes, I wouldn't be lying.
6/10 of an eyebrow.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man. So there's been plenty of talk, and I know I haven't mentioned it yet, but I'm sure you'll be able to fill in the blanks here. This has probably been by far one of the worst weeks for officiating.
Let's just
this
go
whole
back.
Season.
Let's roll back just a second, because I'm sure there's some of you mathematicians out there in our sea of listeners who are going to say, "Wait a minute, Jared, Todd, hold on. Did he just say 6/10 of an eyebrow?" Hold on. Yes, that's right. 3/5 for you reduced fraction motherfuckers out there. 3/5.
Hey, what I tell you last week? What I tell you a couple weeks ago? Nobody comes here for the math.
3/5. I'm so sorry. I will never leave a fraction non-reduced again.
Do you want to make that a decimal?
God, Jesus. I can't get anything by you guys. You know what? That's why we love all 14 of you, because you're near dear to our hearts, and you keep us honest. Jamie, don't you dare give me that look again. I know what you're thinking. Listen, your name wasn't Son One. You didn't place third in any mathematic competition, but I caught you. I caught you on it.
Did he give you the people's eyebrow?
God, he gave it to me. He gave it to me. He's looking at me like he's looking down at me. He's like an eagle flying above the pigeon. He's over here. He's like, listen, I've got 100% of my eyebrows. I don't need to reduce any fractions. I don't need to do any mathematics. He's over here. Look at him. Look at him. He's flexing on me. He's got both of his eyebrows.
It's not hard to do with a missing eyebrow.
He's got two whole eyebrows. I'm not going to say I'm not jealous.
He's got one up on you. Oh man,
he does.
Well, with having
he
one
may
up,
have the eyebrows, but I've got the listeners' hearts. Okay.
Yeah, it's true.
That's fact.
Well, with having one up, let's move to the refs having one up on Terry McLaurin. What in God's name is going on with all these refs? Like, this has got to be the worst officiating week. I mean, I've seen.
I don't understand how. Yeah,
I've seen refs
talking to the ref on TV.
He turns around, looks at him, gives him a
literally
thumbs up.
talks to the ref.
The ref gives him a thumbs up, says he's good. Terry gives him a thumbs up back.
Him.
And then 0.5 of a second for those mathematicians, they snap the ball. He throws a flag, and I'm like, what just happened?
God,
he literally had a conversation with him. They just talked about it. Said, no, you're good. Yeah, you're good. Oh, just kidding. Now I'm throwing a flag. Like, what the hell? I don't get it. And then they blatantly miss a pass interference, which basically turned the outcome of the game. I mean, the Giants guy was draped all over him. I don't get it. But then when you look at the no call on the taking the points off the board for the Minnesota Vikings on the fumbles, like this has got to be the worst officiating week I've seen. Like, this is just ridiculous, and they're just stupid. They're blatantly obvious to everybody looking. Like, I know I saw the replay again on the McAfee show. They were talking about it, and I was watching the replay, and I'm like, it just blows me away again seeing it in slow motion. McLaurin turns his head to the right, looks at the ref, gives him a thumbs up. The ref points to him, shakes his head, gives him a thumbs up back, and then throws the flag. Like, I'm dumbfounded. What are these guys supposed to do? And we see this every single play where they look at the ref gives them a thumbs up, like, yeah, you're good. Like, I don't get it. I don't understand it.
Dude,
I mean, what was he supposed to do? What was he supposed to do? Is he supposed to, I forget the guy that did it, but is he supposed to bring the index cards out again? Like, what the hell are they supposed to do? You look to the ref to verify. He tells you yes, and then he throws a flag. Like, it's frustrating. And then, of course, coming from a wrestling background, MMA, that sort of thing, it's always like, hey, don't leave it up to the refs to dictate the game. It sure as hell getting kind of hard when you're left to their discretion and they tell you you're good and they throw a damn flag. Like,
it was like the Chappelle show, Rick James sketch, where he talks about the cows. Yeah, Fuck your couch. It was literally like it was one. Holy shit!
I almost feel like it was.
Hell?
I feel like I was watching an episode of the Key and Peele, where it was the All Star, the Pro Bowl. I mean, with Kringle McKringleberry, like, come on! That floored me, and I don't even give two craps about the friggin' Redskins or the Giants. I don't give two shits about those teams. I have no interest in that division. But I'm just like, are you kidding me right now?
They're the Commanders now, Jerry. You can't say Redskins. You're going to get this shit shut down.
If we haven't gotten it shut down yet, I think we're okay.
I already got a helicopter circle in the house.
Yeah.
I don't need that heat.
It's probably for other reasons.
I don't even think you're allowed to say the word Redskins in 2022.
I just don't get it. Like, I have no interest in a lot of these other divisions and these other games, but then I see the refs and the calls they're making, and I'm like, how did you miss that? Like, again, I don't have any interest in the AFC East. I think it was I know it was the Dolphins. I don't remember. But anyway,
you better have interest. You picked them for your Super Bowl champ, or at least AFC champ. You picked the AFC. Dolphins for the Super Bowl. AFC.
I did the AFC champ, but I mean, I have no interest in them, personally. But when I saw them get flagged for roughing the passer call a couple weeks ago, and I'm like, really? What the hell is going on? Like, that's a total blatant blown call. That's not a roughing the passer. Like, I don't understand what's going on, and I just because I follow him, I actually did see on Twitter Clay Matthews after a couple of games of these roughing the passers. He actually posted, he's like, what are the odds that I could get a job with the NFL reviewing some roughing the passer calls as an analyst? Like, that would be perfect, because that guy was flagged left and right when they started making that rule. But it's just ridiculous. I don't know. Just leave the refs out of it and let the guys play. As far as murdering somebody on the field, just let them play. I don't know, but and not in lesser exciting news, I don't know that I've ever seen this happen. Not that he was very resourceful and very useful anyway. He's pretty much been on par as he has been the last few years. But Sammy Watkins got cut from Green Bay, released, whatever you want to call it, released from Green Bay on the day of the game. Like, I don't know that I've ever seen somebody get released the day of the game. Like, hey, we're going to practice. We're going to get you in the game plan the whole week. And then game day, you know what? It's just not working. Like, I've never seen that. Maybe during the week, but not game day. But regardless.
Released, Jared?
Who?
Do you know what other demographic of human beings gets released? Prisoners, Jared. Prisoners get released from prison. Is
that why you need
released from jail?
Is that why you need the criminal justice?
Get released from prison, Jared.
Is that why you need the criminal justice background?
That's right. That's right. It's exactly right. Criminal justice. It all comes. How would you say it? How would you say it, Jared? Would you say it comes 360, motherfucker?
It's
360, Jared.
No, it's a total 180.
Yeah. God damn it. You aren't winning any math competitions anytime soon.
I'll just resource my guy to Son One. Son One, me dusty silly. I'll have him go ahead and help me out.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you right now, he's winning something. He's winning this mathematical evolutional battle. Yeah. He couldn't have gone to a better team. I hope he enjoys the other granny panties, brother.
But I've never seen somebody get cut on a game day. But let's be honest, his rookie year was probably his best year. He's been injured nonstop. He's been inefficient. He's been irrelevant for most of his career.
I'm not going to lie to you. I didn't know he was still in the NFL.
Well, when Green Bay signed him, everybody had high hopes. Like, oh, man, it's good to get a veteran in. I'm like, what are you expecting out of him? Like, if you could get 5 games out of an 18-week season, consider yourself lucky. I mean, he's not going to be that relevant, and that's about what they got out of him. The most production he had at Green Bay, I think he had 4 catches or something like that for 90 yards against the Bears in like week 5 or 6. That's it. Otherwise, he's really done not a whole lot this whole season. So, regardless, they cut him, which the timing was very confusing, but they cut him. And honestly, I kind of expected him to be like a Ty Montgomery and not, kind of float around, but man, Baltimore called, and he's right back on Baltimore's roster like he was a few years ago. And I was kind of shocked to see him go back to Baltimore. I honestly thought that he wasn't gonna get claimed, but he's back at Baltimore, so we'll see how that works out.
I remember Sammy Watkins at Clemson, and like being this, like
he was an all-star.
Oh my God, I thought he was gonna like transcend sports, man.
He was phenomenal.
He was an absolute stud.
And then he came into the league, and his rookie year, he kind of lived up to the hype. And then after his rookie year, it's just been downhill. It's been injury after injury, inconsistency after inconsistency, lack of production. He's just not reliable. Like, I don't know what the deal is, but I don't know. I feel like teams go after him for the potential and the name recognition versus where his actual trend is, because he hasn't proven he can do anything for a full year. Like, he hasn't done that more than once or twice his whole career. And actually, one of the beat reporters for the Packers actually asked him when he got to camp after they signed him, and they said, your career's kind of been on a downward projection. What do you hope to get out of this? And he's like, honestly, not only have I been, kind of had the raw end of the deal with the injuries, but, this might be my last chance at extending my career. Like, this is it. I'm looking at this is it. This is my last shot. Like, I've done things I shouldn't have done. I haven't been as disciplined. Like, I haven't taken care of myself. Like, I need to do what I need to do because I might not get another shot. And basically his career in Green Bay ended exactly how the last few years have. So I don't know if he's just unlucky, but man, I've never seen somebody fall from graces so quick.
3 seasons with the Bills, an unforgettable season with the Rams, 3 with the Chiefs, 1 with the Ravens, 1 with the Packers, and then back to Baltimore.
But it wasn't even a full season for some of those because he wasn't even with the Rams a full season, was he?
What a waste of talent, man.
It blows me away. Sad. So much potential and like so much hope, and then just to see it not pan out is crazy. But I don't know. But we'll get to our second to last point here. Ryan Tannehill, he's done most likely for the season with an ankle injury. I mean, let's be honest. They're not throwing the ball a whole lot there anyway. That offense revolves around Derrick Henry and Derrick Henry only. The only reason I can name another receiver is because I have him on my fantasy league. Otherwise, I could not name another receiver outside of Treylon Burks, who, let's be honest, is he a receiver on the roster? Yes. Is he productive? Not really, because he's been in the IR for almost the entire season. So you really don't even need a quarterback. You could just put a punter out there to hand the ball off. I don't know. I don't even know what his contract looks like. If his contract is up, do they even bring him back? Like, I would think they probably do, but I don't even know who their backup is. Do you even know who their backup is there? Well, that goes along with everything else. Basically, the only person noteworthy on that team is Derrick Henry. Maybe they'll just direct snap it to Derrick Henry, and I'll take care of the whole show. Well, we'll find out. We'll find out this Sunday or Monday or Saturday, whenever they play. I don't know when they play next. We'll find out then.
Sickening.
And the fact that they're leading that division is just crazy. That's crazy. I mean, granted, you have the Texans with 1 win, and you have the Indianapolis Colts just blew a 33-point win or 33-point lead. So, I mean, it's Jacksonville who, is not too far behind, but I wouldn't think it would be crazy. I don't know the stats and the probability, formulas and what needs to happen, but I wouldn't be shocked if Jacksonville leapfrogs them. I don't know if that's possible.
Jacksonville's not bad.
I don't know.
Becoming a Jags fan.
I mean, when Trevor Lawrence has been pretty hot lately, the last half of the season, he's been pretty solid. I don't know. We'll see. But we'll kind of end the breaking news here with, unfortunately, yet another kind of a somber news take. It's kind of becoming too often here, back-to-back episodes. But Franco Harris died just recently, age 72, just couple days shy of the 50th anniversary of the Immaculate Reception. Obviously, neither one of us are Steeler fans, more so you than me. But that just sucks. I mean, they were planning on having a ceremony, for him and retiring his number and honoring him at the 50th anniversary. And it just sucks that he doesn't get a chance to take part in that. Like that's a play, a historical play that every football fan either should know or needs to know because it's just iconic. Whether he caught it or not, it's just iconic play.
It sucks that they didn't have instant replay back then because we could have seen that he didn't actually catch the ball. I don't want to talk ill of the dead because he was a hell of a player, and I'm sure Penn State and Pittsburgh and everybody's all sad. But I really don't think he caught the ball, and I'm pretty sure that Pittsburgh sucks.
Well, regardless if he did or didn't, we lose another Hall of Famer, and it's just crazy that he wasn't really that old. And I was looking into it. I don't know what the situations and the specifics were, but I had saw on Twitter that morning he actually did a radio interview with Mad Dog from Mad Dog Radio. And was talking about the anniversary and how much he was looking forward to it and all that and getting ready and how much it meant to the city of Pittsburgh and how that, kind of changed that whole franchise for the better. Up until then, they weren't really that good or whatever. And later that day is when he died. Like, that's just crazy. Like, it wasn't even like it was a long lingering, issue or whatever. It was just like a very freak, unexpected incident. So I don't know. I'm sure more details will come out, but it sucks. Lose another Hall of Famer. But with that, we can move to some of the studs and duds here, and we'll knock out this episode. Let me look it up here. Where is it at? All right. So for the studs of the week, we got Josh Allen, Kirk Cousins, Patrick Mahomes, and Trevor Lawrence. As of right now, we have Trevor Lawrence leading at 50%, Pat Mahomes at 33%, Kirk Cousins at 17%, and surprisingly, Josh Allen was 0%. But granted, I went Trevor Lawrence. I was kind of tempted because when you throw almost 500 yards for Kirk Cousins, I mean, it's kind of hard to look the other way because that doesn't happen that often. But then I kind of rationalized it with, hey, they were down by 33 points, so of course he's going to have a big day in order to come back. Otherwise, they're not going to win. But Trevor Lawrence has been on a heater for a while. These last couple weeks, he's been hot. So I voted for him, but I could see a case for any of them.
I like Trevor Lawrence.
Move to the duds here. We got really a smorgasbord buffet here. We got the Buffalo Bills defense. I mean, they didn't get you negative points, so I mean, there's that. You had Jonathan Taylor, and he didn't get you negative points, but he got you one catch for 13 yards, so it's not like he was going to win you any, matchups for the week. You got Brandon Ayuk and Marquise Brown. I, for obvious reasons, went with Jonathan Taylor because for as much of an all-star standout as he is, to get one catch and leave the game, that's kind of been how his season has been most of the year, and it's just been very disappointing, very frustrating, to say the least. So I kind of went with him, but that's just my take. I could see a case for any of them, really.
Jonathan Taylor's been an enormous disappointment all season.
Yeah, for those of us like me that took him with the 12th overall pick, definitely didn't get their money's worth out of that pick. Could have practically taken anybody else, and you probably would have got more production out of it. Wow, we've upgraded. We got sound effects now.
That's right. Listen, this is what happens when you pay Jamie a $20 Amazon gift cards every month.
Oh, you were paying him every month? I thought it was quarterly. No wonder we haven't heard from him in a while.
That's right. Fuck that guy. Sorry, Jamie. No offense.
Oh, man. Well, all right. I think that's all I had. I don't know if you have anything else for this week.
No, I was trying to see where I ranked in the NFL offensive lineman average size because I made the grave error of hopping on a scale this morning and finding out that I'm a biscuit shy of 280. So, yeah, I'm going to go see a cardiologist.
Well, there's hope.
Oh, shit.
Well, even if it's not a lineman, what's Gronk? He could be a tight end.
That's right. I know for a fact, I'm bigger than Kyle Turley when he was playing in the NFL.
Well, we both know that you're bigger than Baker and Kyler.
Listen, Oh, shit. Now I'm talking, dude, Google this shit. All you listeners at home, plug into your little mobile app, hop on the interwebs, and Google Kyle Turley, NFL, highly tattooed NFL lineman.
According to Wikipedia,
Oh.
Kyle John Turley is a former American football offensive tackle
you hear
who
this?
played 9 seasons in the National Football League. Selected 7th overall in the 1998 NFL Draft, Turley played 5 seasons for the New Orleans Saints and a year with the St. Louis Rams before a serious back injury.
7th overall draft pick, Kyle Turley. Okay.
All right, so I have two comments.
I know for a fact.
I got two comments here. A, why does your Alexa sound British? Do you want to sound like exotic?
That was actually my Google, my Google Home. But I do have an Alexa, and she might be British. But don't you dare bring Prince Henry and Meghan Markle.
Well, my second
because
question
I will
was,
have your ass. Because I am the biggest Harry and Meghan supporter that you'll find.
No, I'm just going to reserve my judgment. But my second comment was, if you have all these resources, what the hell are we paying Jamie to do then? They talk more and they give us more information than Jamie ever has.
Google and Alexa are nice, but they don't do my laundry.
Either does Jamie.
Yeah, he does. But that's because I pay him handsomely.
How far do those gift cards get you?
Handsomely. I know for a fact that when Kyle Turley hung him up, you look online, you'll see Kyle Turley's weight is like 300, whatever, bullshit. At one point, his playing weight in the later years of his career was like 270 something. So I can guarantee you that I am heavier right now than Kyle Turley was in his last 3 years in the NFL. Fact. Which is both impressive and saddening at the same time.
I'll take your word for it.
It's suboptimal. I did not realize that such a sedentary lifestyle was going to lead to such melancholy, but here we are.
It's got its drawbacks, that's for sure. But
it's not ideal.
No. Well, that'll wrap up, I think, another episode here of the Fifth Quarter Sportscast. Download, rate, subscribe, review. Follow us if you want to interact with us. 5THQ Sportscast, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, all those are a good place. Until then, go watch some football this weekend. There's games Saturday, games Sunday, games Monday. Until then, have a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Go watch some football. If you want to, so inclined, I guess you could watch some basketball. But here, we're more interested in the NFL. Go watch some games, and we'll catch back up with you next week and talk some Week 16 NFL action.
Thank you for calling to Novice and Hudson with Speed Pickup or Delivery.